The next event is shoe throwing. In this series of Limitless TV, we've been talking about the thing that Jesus said was the single most important thing we can do with our lives. Something that we have come to know as the Greatest Commandment.
Jesus said the first and most important thing that you can do with your life is to love the Lord your God with all of your heart, your soul, your mind, and your strength. But, Jamie, that's not where he finished. Because then he said, love your neighbour as you love yourself. And this is just so important because you cannot talk about the first part, loving God, without talking about the second part, loving people, because they are two inseparable parts of a single greatest commandment whole.
And that's why in this episode of Limitless TV, we're going to be spending a little bit of time thinking about what it means to love your neighbour.
So, picture the scene. Jesus is having a meal with his closest friends, and it's actually the final meal that he would share with them before going to the cross to give his life for them and for the world.
Now remember, these are the guys that he's been traveling with, invested in and speaking to every day for 3 years straight. And this is the final moment with them, so it's quite an important, a significant moment.
Yeah, that's right. And in this moment, Jesus wants to leave these friends and followers with one final truth ringing in their ears. Jesus wants to sum up their 3-year journey together with one final teaching that will bring together all of his ideas. Something that will define the way of life he was inviting his friends and his followers to participate in. So what will he say? What will be this headline truth that Jesus wants his followers to remember forever? Well, we can find it in John chapter 13, and this is what he says. A new command I give you. Okay, here we go. This is it. A new command. It's a headline command. It's a top trump truth. What's it going to be? He says, a new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. And then get this, Jamie, because Jesus now, he's going to make this hugely important and highly challenging statement. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. And friends, I don't want you to miss this because this is huge. Jesus is saying that if you are his follower, then the one thing that will mark you out as different from the people around you, the way that your friends will be able to tell if you are a Christian or not, the defining hallmark of a disciple, of a follower of Jesus, is how you love your neighbour.
Wait, hang on a minute, Tim, that can't be right, surely, because I thought that the thing that marks us, Jesus followers, out as different from those around us is what we believe. I thought the thing that shows the people around us that we are Christians, the fact that we go to church every Sunday or to youth group or on a Friday or to the CU at our school, I thought the defining hallmark of a disciple of Jesus, the way we have a different moral code, a different belief system to those people around us.
I know, right? And whilst those are the things that usually do demonstrate to the people around us that we're Christians, they are not the things that Jesus said should mark us out as Christians. He said we should be known not by what we believe or what we do, but by how we love.
And that's all.
Right.
Because at the same meal, Jesus was sitting next to his best friend, a guy called John. And you can tell John was listening, he was paying attention because, when he says to Jesus, because just a few years later, John wrote these words in one of his letters. In 1 John 4, verses 7 to 8, it says, "Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love." And then a few verses later, in verse 19, it says, "We love because he first loved us. If anyone says, 'I love God,' yet hates his brother, he is a liar. For anyone who does not love his brother who he has seen cannot love God who he has not seen. And he has given us this command: whoever loves God must also love his brother."
So John here, he takes what Jesus said at that meal and he reinforces it by saying that if you claim to do the first part of the greatest commandment, to love God, but don't do the second part of the greatest commandment, to love your neighbour, then these were his words: you're a liar. And you don't even know God.
Yeah.
He says it's just not possible to claim to be a follower of Jesus if you do not love your neighbour.
I mean, strong words there.
Strong words indeed. But Jamie, could you just imagine what might happen if you and I and every Jesus follower watching this really took Jesus' words to heart when he said, "As I have loved you, so love one another"? I mean, imagine it. Like, what would happen if we actually loved one another in the way that Jesus loves us? What would happen in our friendships? What would happen in our relationships? What would happen in our families? What could happen in our schools, in our communities, in our world if we loved one another like Jesus loves us?
Oh, I'd have to say that our friendships would be transformed, wouldn't it? There'd be no gossiping, no backbiting, no betrayal, no name calling, no cheating, no bullying, no fighting, no hurt, even no war.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where we all loved each other like Jesus loves us. It's a world that I want to be a part of.
But friends, do you know how that starts? It starts with us. It starts with me and with Jamie and with you, loving our neighbour as Jesus loved us.
Jesus said, "A new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you're my disciples if you love one